What if I told you there was a secret race of dragonkind purpose-built to take down other dragons? A top-secret experiment by Neltharion has a desperate gambit to turn the tide of an ancient war.
Oh hey, are you talking about me?
Yes, I'm really trying to make you guys look cool, but you guys sure aren't doing yourself any favors.
Well, I think we're pretty cool. I mean, we have laser breath. That's like, what do you call them? Oh yeah, Godzilla kind of stuff.
Yeah, I personally think Dracthyr are pretty neat, but most people are mad that you guys aren't Draconids.
What? We're way cooler than the Dragonids. Those meatheads are all brawn, no fancy dragon magic.
That's what I'm trying to get at. If you let me get on with the video.
Okay. Your little thing.
Thanks. All right, let's get to it. As I was saying, Dracthyr were created way back, when the Dragon Isles was just called the Broodlands, and the War of the Scaleborn was just kicking off. The War of the Scaleborn is outlined in the newest Warcraft novel, and it tells us all about the turmoil of early dragons, and how the aspects separated themselves off from the proto-drakes, including the incarnates like Iridikron and Viranov. After the defeat of Galakrond, the 5 aspects were blessed by the Timekeepers and became ordered. And in Warcraft, order typically means one of two things. You either look more human or more like a generic fantasy creature. So our odd little proto-drake friends got changed into what everyone would call a dragon. Though be careful, referring to order dragons as simply dragons and proto-drakes as just proto-drakes is going to make the new aspect of the storms quite upset. Once they were ordered, the 5 aspects worked together to establish the dragonflights we know of today. This includes a lot of other dragons who accepted the Titan magic and became ordered, along with any future offspring. While some proto-drakes were pretty upset by this, most were willing to let it be since the ordered dragons had chosen to do so. The new dragonflights would set out to establish the cities and fortifications we've come to know in the Dragon Isles, such as the towering heights of Valdrakken or the sturdy fortress of the Obsidian Citadel. However, building stuff is kinda odd for the other dragons, probably due to their stubby little arms. Poor fellas. So as the Broodlands became more and more occupied by the Titan-aligned dragonflights, the wild drakes felt more isolated and started to feel the need to group up as well. This is where the incarnates come in. While Farak would become the first incarnate, Iridikron would follow in his footsteps and eventually usurp control of the Primalist forces through his sheer Chad energy. You see, Iridikron knew where all this Titan ordering stuff was going. While the Order Dragons had chosen to accept the Titan influence, Iridikron had a hunch. The Titan Keepers wouldn't be happy with just the willing participants.
Jeez, that Iridikron guy should probably take a chill pill.
Well, he was kind of right.
Wait, seriously?
Yep, because after not too long, Keeper Tyr would start poking Alexstrasza and asking if the Keepers could start taking eggs from the Broodlands and ordering them.
Oh, okay. And Alexstrasza obviously said no, and so Tyr went behind her back?
Kinda, not really. Alexstrasza actually felt a little threatened by Tyr since the Titans are so powerful. And with the subtle idea of a looming war between the Proto-Drakes and the Order Dragons, Tyr was actually suggesting this as a way to bolster their numbers. So Alexstrasza relented, but said that Tyr could only grab the abandoned eggs out in the wild.
Well, I guess that's not too bad. I mean, if they were abandoned, then taking them was probably a nice thing to do.
You'd think, but the Keepers got a little overzealous with the assignment and started taking eggs that were left unattended for only a brief period of time.
Ooh, that's probably gonna backfire.
And it did. While there was a tenuous peace between the dragons since there was a choice in becoming ordered, the second it was discovered that eggs were being forcibly taken from the wild, the Proto-Drakes felt threatened enough to go into open war. This includes Viranov, who actually used to be a close friend of Alexstrasza, and she made an agreement with the Dragon Queen to stay neutral so long as becoming ordered stayed a choice. And yeah, we know how that turned out. So, the factions of Dragonkind are preparing for war. In this corner, we have the Order Dragons and their Titan-enhanced magics. And in this corner, the Proto-Drakes of the Wild and their elemental incarnates. One teensy tiny problem though. The Drakes of the Wild vastly outnumber the Order Dragons. However, Iridikron wasn't the only one with the foresight to see this war coming. Our good old boy Neltharion, saw this coming a mile away. You see, Neltharion knew they were at a numbers disadvantage, and dragons take a very long time to reach maturity. But with only a few decades to prepare for the war, Neltharion would have to get a bit tricksy. Oh, hey, what's these little dudes just hanging out in the Broodlands? Looks like some sort of early ancestor of the mortal races. Man, they're kind of small and squishy, but they sure do age fast. Maybe we can work with this. Seeing the potential of the mortals, the aspects would create the first visage forms to extend diplomatic relations to the mortal races, in hopes to enlist them for the future war. But Neltharion had another idea. What if you could mix the short time it took to reach maturity in the mortals with the fine wine aging of dragons? That way they could be able to quickly create a large army of fully mature draconic soldiers.
Wow, that's pretty clever. I bet you it's gonna make something cool.
Yeah, whatever. Neltharion knew that kind of experimenting would be frowned upon by his spectral colleagues, especially since he started working on this in peacetime. So he kept it to his secret underground laboratory in Aberys.
Yeah, a secret underground lab really doesn't scream villain energy at all.
Isn't that where you grew up?
I mean, yeah, but the food sucked.
Yeah, all right. Let's get back on topic. The initial experiments in Aberys wouldn't be a success, creating some pretty awful horrors on the first go-rounds. We'd actually see a rough timeline on Neltharion's progress through the Forgotten Experiments fight in the Aberys raid. These would range from creatures that never lived very long, or really wish they didn't have to. Neltharion also tried seeing if Dracthyr could lay eggs or not.
Wait, what?
Yeah, let's not talk about it. They don't, by the way. Don't get weird in the comments. After countless trials and tribulations, Neltharion would make his secret army of the Dracthyr. They would reach maturity within a fraction of the time of a normal drake, and their small forms and disintegrating breath are perfect for flying around dragons and tearing their wings from their body. They are the perfect dragon-killing machines. So perfect, in fact, that it terrified Neltharion. What if his hybrid children ever turned on the aspects? This new race was genuinely powerful enough to be able to dismantle the dragonflights. For this reason, Neltharion never gave them the chance of choosing their fate and bound their will to Oathbinder, a Titan artifact that allowed Neltharion to mind control the Dracthyr. But oh hey, all this planning looks like it's gonna pay off. We've got a war to fight. New problem though. Neltharion didn't want to just rock up to the party with a new race of dragon that were obviously much older than the war itself. So he's gonna keep them secret. For this reason, the Dracthyr wouldn't be seen on the front lines. However, when Raszageth attacked the Forbidden Reach, far from the other dragonflights, the Dracthyr hit him with that dragon sweep! Unfortunately though, a Primalist spy would clue Raszageth into the truth of Oathbinder, and would go out of her way to destroy the artifact, freeing the Dracthyr from the control of death. It's still Neltharion. With the tide of battle turning now that the Dracthyr were aimless, and with the rising fear of what the Dracthyr might do if they figured out what happened, Neltharion, for the first time in his life, gave in to the whispers of the old gods and unleashed an overwhelming shadow-powered attack on Raszageth, taking her out and imprisoning her within the Reach. Though Neltharion wouldn't dwell on this victory for long, as he felt a panic come over him as he realized he would need to hide the Dracthyr. Thankfully, Neltharion has a total bro in Malygos, and gave him a quick call to let him know there was a mess to clean up. While Malygos was a little hurt that Neltharion did all this behind his back, bro code is bro code, so he swore to help clean up Neltharion's problems and to keep it secret from Alexstrasza. From here, the aspects would go on to win the war, but we're going to save that for a future video. For now, we're going to jump to the modern day, where the Dracthyr are going to become freed after Raszageth breaks free from her prison, and with the help of Rathian and Abyssian, they would escape the Forbidden Reach and assimilate into the Alliance and Horde, officially joining the ranks of Azeroth's Planeteers.
Well, hey, now that we've got free will and all that, there's a lot of stuff I want to try that I really haven't had a chance to. Like, figuring out what this thing is. I'm not sure yet, but I kind of love it.
Yeah, those guys are pretty great, huh? I'm excited to have you guys around, and it seems like you're going to enjoy it too. Anyways, this has been Six. Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell.
What's that?
Don't worry about it. Anyways,
see you guys next time.